Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be talking all about itchiness and hair systems and why you or someone else might be experiencing it. I think it's an important topic to address because if you're looking online, you're thinking about getting a hair system, and you see that people are dealing with itchiness, it might actually scare you away from getting a hair system. And if you currently are experiencing it, which is totally possible, it would be really nice if you could figure out a way to get rid of that, right? So I wanted to go over a brief synopsis about why people might be experiencing itchiness and how to circumvent that. Because if we don't do things right, we could have some itchiness, right? So first off, one of the biggest things inside of hair systems that we've got to figure out is the bonds and adhesives that we use, okay? So first off, what is a bond? What is an adhesive? Are they regular glues? Are they toxic? Now, these are all medical grade adhesives, which means that these are safe for human contact, that they are usable in a medical sense, right? So these are not, it's not Elmer's glue, it's not super glue. Soft bonds, which is what most of us will be using, and tapes as well, are very, very, very safe, and they're very gentle on the skin. However, hard bonds are known for being a little bit harsher on skin and harsher on the body, and it can cause a little bit more irritation. However, these bonds, one of the whole process of hair systems is figuring out what the right bond is for you, right? And some may not be right for you. So the first issue that I wanted to address is that a lot of people will try one bond with a hair system, and there's problems like it won't stick and it won't actually bond to your body because of your chemistry, your body pH, your sweat, your oil, and the particular chemical makeup that you have going on. And this is actually a problem that I've had in the past, that Ghost Bond for me didn't work at all. It was oozing and sweaty and nasty, and it wasn't something that was good, and it really made me want to get rid of like the whole hair system. So that is something that is you might have to address, right? And you might have to look for a different one. That doesn't mean that all are going to be exactly like one that doesn't work for you, or one that does cause you to be itchy. I'm using Walker Safe Grip right now, and I'm testing it out. I'm not saying it's perfect for me right now, but I'm testing it out. So far, I have had absolutely no problems with itchiness, which is fantastic. And I'm constantly pushing my hair systems to the limit. So that brings me to my second note, which will take us back to the adhesives. Are you sweating inside of your hair system? So if you're in a hot climate, if it's sweaty, this is actually something that could cause some itchiness when water molecules kind of get in and around the adhesives and they're trapped underneath the hair system. Say if you're wearing a polyurethane base, it's possible that this is causing a little bit of a itch issue, which is totally possible. It can actually cause a little bit of irritation underneath. And so if that's the case, that's something to note, but I wouldn't say that if you're sweating, it's going to denote that you will have itchiness issues. Like I said previously, Ghost Bond caused immense amounts of itchiness with me right away. However, Walker Safe Grip right now has caused no itchiness. I have gone and done probably 3 or 4 workouts since I've got this put on, and it's been amazing. There's been no issues. I don't even feel like I'm wearing something. It just feels like my regular hair, right? So that's awesome. So another issue that could be occurring if you are having some itchiness is actually your hair coming up through the unit. It's your natural hair, right? When you are getting an attachment, this is generally standard practice, but it's still worth noting. If you are not getting your scalp shaved down before you attach the hair system, this could interfere with the adhesive. It could interfere with the bond. It could create a less strong bond, one, but it could also interact with the adhesives and cause a little bit of itchiness, right? Another thing that could be causing it is having an itchy scalp from not washing your unit properly. I think sometimes when we get a new unit, or we're new to hair systems, it is possible that we're afraid to wash our unit and we're afraid to take care of our units. But these are just like our bio hair, or our natural hair that we have. This is hair that has to be washed, and we have to wash the base of it. We don't want products to get built up in it if we are using products. So we have to take care of it, and we can't be afraid to actually wash it. These things are safe to go inside the shower. They're safe to go inside of the pool. So there shouldn't be an issue like that. And if there is, we need to get past that, right? We need to be clean. So that is something to know. Another one is, are you using a poor quality hair system? That's something that you might want to look into. I personally haven't had that issue yet, and I don't believe that's the issue. But if you bought one that was really, really, really cheap, you might want to consider it. Another one that you might want to consider is, what is the base of your unit, right? So a poly unit is going to trap sweat a little bit more, right, than a lace or a Swiss, because it is a polyurethane base, which means that it is not as breathable as, say, a Swiss or a French lace, which means that it's the lace literally will have ventilation naturally. So that is something that you're going to want to address and maybe think about. I am still using a poly. This is my second hair system. This is a poly. Like I said, I've had no problems with tons and tons of sweating and not having it itchy, and it's a poly. So maybe you need a poly, maybe you need a French or a Swiss, but from my experience, I can't say that that's absolutely necessary. So take that with a grain of salt. Another thing that you might want to consider is that it's possible that you're actually experiencing some psychosomatic itching. Now, psychosomatic itching means that you, not to make it sound like we're crazy or we're going through something that's not there, but it could be when we put on something new, a new piece of clothing, gloves or something like that, we have a different sensation that wraps around our skin, which is our largest organ in our body. And psychosomatic pain, psychosomatic feeling, psychosomatic itchiness is possible, right? Which means that our brains are kind of misinterpreting information and making up something that is just in our head. And you know what? That's okay. We'll be aware that we're wearing a hair system, and we'll have that extra kind of like sixth sense, if you will, for a little bit. But eventually that will go away, and it's something that will be more natural, and it's not something that's going to persist forever. Now, the last one I want to address, the last point, and we kind of talked about it in the intro, is we got to make sure that the adhesive is not causing an allergic reaction. Now, allergic reactions could look like anaphylactic shock, right? They could look like you not being able to breathe, but we also have lighter, milder allergic reactions to things that often go unnoticed. Ones that can cause maybe a little bit of swelling, or they could cause some itchiness or some redness, right? Have you ever seen somebody have an allergic reaction and they just get a little red? Maybe a little puffy or something like that? Well, that can happen with an adhesive too. So even if it's not causing you to break out and convulse or to go into shock or into a coma, you might actually be a little bit allergic to a particular adhesive or what is inside of it. Now, I bring this back to the beginning, talking about my experience with Ghost Bond, because I heard that Ghost Bond was fantastic and it was great for people with sensitive scalps, and I do have just sensitive skin. But here's the interesting thing. Right away, I knew that Ghost Bond wasn't right for my skin. Like when I was coming home from my first install, it was already having itchiness problems, and I don't know how to explain it exactly, but I just had this feeling like it wasn't right for me, and it just felt like it wasn't right. Like I couldn't explain it exactly, but I have a body awareness. I think it's because, one, I'm very careful with what I eat, and two, I exercise a lot, but I just felt it wasn't right. And as soon as I went for my first workout, it was like I wanted tear it off. Like it was so frustrating and not fun. And I think that probably, it was either a mismatch of it wasn't the correct adhesive for me, right? I'm not saying it was an allergic reaction, but I was definitely symptomatic of something wasn't right, like the chemistry was not right for my body. And it also stands to reason that it wasn't right for my body because the adhesive didn't hold at all, and it didn't like my body chemistry. So that makes sense, right? Like I'm not a scientist, but if I would say that it's possible I didn't have the right one, right? So these are a couple things to think about as you're trying to figure out if you have itchiness, why, or if you're scared of itchiness. So these are some of the things that you might experience. And remember, if you're just starting this journey, it's okay that not everything has to be perfect right away. And this is a journey, right? We don't arrive as soon as we engage with hair systems. It's not like everything is going to be perfect right away, but it's a journey. And it's almost like building a relationship with somebody or something. You have to learn how things go and what does work and what doesn't work, and there's ebbs and flow and the excitement level that you have for it or we have for it, and it's all okay. It's just part of the journey, so don't worry about that so much, and just keep on keeping on. And if you have not yet got a hair system and you're worried about this, listen, I'm not going to say that it's not possible that it's not going to happen, because it's totally possible that it could happen. However, same message. It's part of the journey, and you'll get through it. You'll get through it, and you'll move on to the next problem, and then the next problem, and you'll learn how to manage every problem, which it's like leveling up inside of a video game. It's just how we go through life and how we learn everything. It might start with first dealing with itchiness or with finding the right adhesive, and then the next thing you know, you're worried about, how do I make these systems last a little bit longer? How do I take care of them? How do I not get them tangled as much? How do I take care of my hair better? Or it might be, I don't know what the next problem is. And I constantly have new problems and new answers and new questions and all this stuff all the time. So the message here, guys, is that it's okay, all right? Like, we're gonna get through this. And finding a trusted source of information, I hope that you consider this a source of information. So please like, subscribe, comment, and once you subscribe, hit that notification bell on the side. But I hope you view me as a solid source of information. There's a couple other YouTube channels out there that are really awesome and that are providing information that is easy to consume, and that they're good just role models for this journey. And it's okay, guys. Like, we're gonna get through this together, and it's gonna be cool. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you would like to engage more on Instagram or even like a Slack or a Discord channel, let me know. I'm thinking about doing that and just having like a little bit more of an engaging community. Okay. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you in the next one.